Welcome to the Mind Spark, bringing you the latest news from around the world. China's $4.5 billion investment in a Mexican rail corridor aims to connect the Pacific and Atlantic, challenging a century of US-dominated trade via the Panama Canal. This corridor, stretching from the bustling ports of the Pacific to the Atlantic's gateway, is designed to offer a faster, more efficient alternative for global shipping. For decades, the Panama Canal has been the main artery for trade between Asia and the Americas. But now, a new competitor is emerging, one that could shift the balance of economic influence in the region. This isn't just infrastructure, it's a bold move on the global chessboard, with the potential to reshape supply chains and shift economic power. The stakes are enormous. Billions of dollars in trade, thousands of jobs, and the future of how nations connect. If successful, this corridor could reduce shipping times, lower costs, and make Mexico a central hub in the world's supply chain network. The world is watching as Mexico and China join forces, promising faster, cheaper routes for goods between Asia, the Americas, and Europe. This partnership signals a new era of cooperation, but also raises questions about influence, sovereignty, and the evolving dynamics of global trade. As new agreements are signed and construction accelerates, anticipation and anxiety grow among business leaders and policymakers worldwide. The stakes are high. Will this corridor spark prosperity or fuel a new front in US-China rivalry? For Mexico, it's a chance to become a key player on the world stage. For China, it's an opportunity to expand its Belt and Road vision into the Western Hemisphere. For the United States, it's a challenge to its long-standing dominance in the region and a test of its ability to adapt to a rapidly changing world. As the interoceanic corridor of the Isthmus of Tehuantepec takes shape, it signals a world where influence is up for grabs. The project is more than steel and concrete, it's a statement about the future, about who will lead and who will follow in the next chapter of global trade. Every mile of track laid is a step toward a new economic reality, one that could benefit millions but also disrupt established powers. The story of this railway is, in many ways, the story of the 21st century, a tale of ambition, competition, and the relentless drive to connect our world in new and unexpected ways. As trains begin to roll and goods start to flow, the world will be watching to see if this new Silk Road can truly deliver on its promise. To grasp the new corridor's significance, we must first understand the Panama Canal's legacy. For over a century, the canal has been the Western Hemisphere's trade artery, slashing shipping times and costs and cementing U.S. dominance. Control of the canal gave Washington unmatched strategic and economic leverage, but the canal now faces new challenges. Larger ships strain its capacity, and droughts threaten its reliability. These pressures have opened the door for alternatives. The Mexican rail project isn't just a rival, it's a challenge to a century-old order. The idea that a new route, backed by China, could rival the canal marks a historic turning point. The old certainties of global trade are dissolving and a new map is emerging. China's $4.5 billion investment is reviving the dream of a trans-Mexican route across the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. The plan modernizes a 300-kilometer rail line linking Salina Cruz on the Pacific to Coatzacoalcos on the Gulf, with upgraded ports at both ends. The goal, a faster, more efficient alternative to the Panama Canal, with containers crossing Mexico in as little as 6 hours. For China, it's a key Belt and Road Initiative project, securing a North American foothold and diversifying trade routes. For Mexico, it's a chance to spark development in the south, create jobs, and attract foreign investment through new industrial parks. This corridor could transform Mexico into a logistics powerhouse and give China a strategic edge in the Americas. The stakes: economic growth, geopolitical leverage, and a new chapter in global trade. The Chinese-funded rail corridor in Mexico is shaking up geopolitics, especially in Washington. For over a century, the U.S. has viewed the Americas as its backyard, resisting outside influence. Now, China's presence on the U.S. doorstep is seen as a direct challenge. Mexico faces a balancing act, deeply tied to the U.S. economy, but eager to diversify with China's help. This move could give Mexico leverage, but risks friction with its northern neighbor. The corridor's success could inspire other Latin American nations to seek Chinese partnerships, further eroding U.S. influence. Social impacts are also in play: jobs and development for Mexico's south, but also potential land disputes and unrest. How Mexico manages these challenges will shape the project's legacy. The region stands at a crossroads, with alliances and power dynamics in flux. The Tehuantepec corridor promises to rewire supply chains, offering a faster, more efficient route for high-value goods. By combining ocean and rail, it could shave days off transit times, tempting shippers away from the Panama Canal and U.S. West Coast ports. But success hinges on flawless logistics. Extra handling steps add risk and cost. Ports like Salina Cruz and Coatzacoalcos could boom, while others face new competition. The corridor is central to Mexico's nearshoring ambitions, attracting manufacturers eager to serve North America. Chinese, American, and European firms may set up shop, transforming southern Mexico into an industrial hub. This project could shift the geography of global manufacturing for decades to come. Experts from around the globe are closely watching the Tehuantepec corridor, viewing it as a textbook example of China's ongoing strategic expansion into new regions. This ambitious project, which aims to connect the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans through southern Mexico, is seen as more than just an infrastructure upgrade. It's a move that could redefine the balance of power in international trade. Geopolitical analysts caution that the corridor could give Beijing a significant foothold in the U.S. near abroad, raising concerns about shifting spheres of influence in the Western Hemisphere. Meanwhile, logistics experts highlight the immense operational challenges involved in creating a seamless intermodal transport system, one that must rival the efficiency and reliability of established global routes. The Panama Canal, with its century-long legacy of facilitating global commerce, sets a formidable benchmark. Its proven track record in handling massive cargo volumes and complex logistics is a high bar for any new corridor to meet or surpass. For Mexican trade specialists and policymakers, however, the corridor represents more than a geopolitical chess move. They see it as a transformative opportunity for national development, job creation, and economic sovereignty. It's not simply a matter of choosing sides between the US and China, but about asserting Mexico's own place in the global economy. Financial analysts are engaged in heated debates over the corridor's long-term viability. The central question remains: will projected traffic volumes and trade flows be enough to justify the massive $4.5 billion investment? Some point to optimistic forecasts, while others warn of potential risks and unforeseen costs. In today's rapidly evolving world, many argue that connectivity is destiny. As global supply chains become more diversified and resilient, projects like the Tehuantepec corridor could play a pivotal role in shaping the future of international commerce. The financial outcome of this corridor will send a powerful message to other nations considering similar partnerships with China. Success could inspire a wave of new infrastructure projects, while failure might prompt a re-evaluation of such alliances. Ultimately, the Tehuantepec corridor stands as a real-world test of ambition, execution, and the shifting balance of global power. Its progress will be closely monitored by governments, investors, and industry leaders alike. The outcome of this project could fundamentally reshape how the world thinks about trade, influence, and opportunity, potentially setting new standards for international cooperation and competition in the decades to come. The corridor cuts through one of Mexico's most biodiverse regions, raising serious environmental concerns. Deforestation, habitat loss, and pollution threaten fragile ecosystems and endangered species. Expanded ports and industrial parks could bring new risks: oil spills, invasive species, and air and water pollution. Proponents argue the corridor could reduce global shipping emissions by creating a more efficient route and using electric trains. The real test: can Mexico and China build this project sustainably, with rigorous oversight and community input? The world is watching to see if economic growth can coexist with environmental stewardship. The Tehuantepec corridor is a test case for progress without sacrifice. The corridor's true edge lies in technology. Automation, AI, and the Internet of Things will drive its efficiency. At the ports, AI-powered cranes and self-driving vehicles will speed up container handling. Smart railways will track every shipment in real time, optimizing schedules and energy use. But digital integration brings new risks. Cyber attacks could cripple the entire route. Robust cybersecurity is as vital as the rails themselves. If successful, the corridor could set a new global standard, pressuring rivals like the Panama Canal to modernize. The future of trade will belong to the smartest, most connected routes. The Tehuantepec corridor could be the blueprint for a new era of digital logistics. The Tehuantepec corridor is more than just a railway. It's a bold redrawing of the world's commercial map, a project that signals a seismic shift in how goods, people, and ideas will move across continents. Stretching from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean, this corridor is poised to become a vital artery for global trade, offering a new alternative to the Panama Canal and reshaping the logistics landscape for decades to come. It embodies China's far-reaching ambition to expand its influence, Mexico's determined quest for economic sovereignty and growth, and the relentless march of technology that is transforming infrastructure worldwide. This corridor is not just about steel and concrete, it's about vision, partnership, and the race to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world. For the United States, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that global leadership is never guaranteed. For China, it's a strategic win, opening new doors for trade and influence in the Americas. For Mexico, it's a historic gamble, a chance to assert itself as a key player on the world stage and to create new opportunities for its people. The ripple effects of this project will touch every corner of the globe, influencing everything from the prices we pay for everyday goods to the strategies nations use to protect their interests. It will impact supply chains, create new alliances, and potentially spark new rivalries as countries adapt to the shifting balance of power. The big question remains, can this ambitious project overcome its many hurdles, from environmental concerns to political resistance, and truly become a bridge to shared prosperity? Or will it deepen the divides and rivalries that already exist in our interconnected world? The corridor is a test of our collective ability to manage the complexities of 21st century globalization, balancing economic opportunity with social and environmental responsibility. As the first trains prepare to run along this new route, they carry more than just cargo. They carry the hopes, ambitions, and anxieties of millions whose lives may be transformed by this new era of commerce. Every shipment is a symbol of possibility, but also a reminder of the challenges ahead. The journey has just begun, and its ultimate destination will shape the future for us all, economically, politically, and culturally. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher.